Hello and welcome back to today's lesson. It is very important as usual. In the previous lesson, we talked about storing the data into a database. In this lesson, we will talk about grabbing the data from the database. I don't want you to look at this code and get scared. It is very easy and I will explain to you. Probably when you sign up with a hosting company, whatever company you choose, they will give you MySQL database. I think is the most famous database, and that's where you will start creating your tables, and you will choose all the names. For example, you can create a table called user, and that's what we are using here. As you can see, we always using user because our table name it's user. As you can see here, this is a PHP MyAdmin. It's a tool that will allow you to edit your database. You will get it when you start your hosting plan with the company. So anyway, this is the table name. It's called user. And check this out. I like to add the user as well in every row name. I like to start with the user and then underscore. And then I name everything else. And I recommend that you use cPanel. I personally love cPanel. It contains all these things. It contains MySQL databases. It contains this PHP MyAdmin. So you can sign up with a hosting company which use the cPanel. It's amazing. So as you can see, this is a PHP MyAdmin. It's a tool that you will use to edit your database. Everything will come with the hosting package when you sign up with a hosting company. Anyway, if we start talking about PHP MyAdmin and about MySQL and cPanel and so on in details, it will take us ages. Notice that there is a user ID up here. This one is a unique number which is different for every row. So every user you will add on your database, they will have a unique ID, and this number here means how many characters. This integer, which means a number, this integer has 11 numbers, so that means billions. Okay, this user ID will never run out unless you have a multi-trillion website. So now we can retrieve data from this table. So this is the code that you get the data from the database. Let's see, select from. Notice that this symbol here means all. So this is like telling the code select all from user. User is the table name. Whatever your table name is, it will be here. Where means where this condition happens, where username, which is this one here. Oh, we need to add this username. This means that this row username, which is this one here, must equal, and then you add whatever you like. Must equal Marius, must equal, it can be a string, user ID, any string that you want. And here is the limit, which means how many results do you want this thing to show you. So you can add any number that you like. You can even add thousands, but we're keeping it simple, 5. If you remove the limit, you can remove it at all. So this is how it looks. You can remove the condition as well, which is where username equals, and you can remove all this. You can just say select all from user, and that's it. All these things are available from the internet, guys. By the way, you should know that a programmer never sits down and writes all the codes by hand from the beginning. Usually it's just copy paste, or just copying from a previous code that you wrote. Now this part here is basically HTML, but I added the print. We cannot just write HTML in a PHP code, so you have to start it with print or echo or so on. And this is the link destination. These all are HTML stuff. If you put here self, it means the link will open in the same page. If you use blank, it means it will open a new page. All these things are HTML. You can call this whatever you like. In this case, I called it open user ID 1. As I told you that each visitor you store the details, they will have a unique user ID which contains all their information, their email, their username, and so on. So yeah, when you say open user ID 1, it means that show the user ID 1. Even here you can say where user ID equals 1. We will get an error message. The only reason is because I'm not connecting to the database. When you connect to the database using your own username and password, it will be fine. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Open user ID. Now we can remove the limit because only one user ID equals 1. As I told you, each user ID is different than the other one. And that's it. That's how you grab the details from the database. There are many ways to do it, but this is one of them. So the username string equals row. This is the same as you can see here. This one has to be the same as this one. And this is the row name, which is on the table. Yeah, this is the row name here. And just say print the string username, add it here, and then close the quotation marks. So that's it. First, it grabs it from the database, and then it prints it. And you can also print the email as well. Just copy paste and add it here. So now when we save this and we upload it, if we are connected to the database, this should show us the username and the email of the person who has the user ID 1. It will show us both of them if we are connected. In your case, you will be connected. So in this link here, we can do something nice. Instead of saying user ID equals to 1, we can add a string here, link ID. Okay, so this is a new string. We just named it link ID. And then we come to the link here and we say the destination of the link. Check this out. Test.php, and then we add the question mark to separate the URL from the information. And then we say link ID equals to 1. And obviously we must write the little code that grabs the data from the web address, which we talked about thousands of times, which is this one here. It is the get code. Just change the S into link ID and here link ID, and just save it. And now we upload it. Check this out. If I click this link, as you can see down here in the web browser, it is showing you where it is taking us. It is taking us at zorten.com/test.php, and then there is a question mark, link ID equals 1. So if I go ahead and click on it, now as you can see the address changed and the link ID equals 1. So when the link ID equals 1, this means that this code here, it will grab all the details of the user whose user ID equals to 1. Everything will start working because we are using the correct code, and this is how you get the user from your database. So if this one was not link ID, if this one was, for example, link gender, maybe you search for the male or female, link gender was male. So in this case, you hit enter. You can specify here that where user gender, obviously you will have a new row on your table, which is called user gender, and each user can specify what are they male or female. So when you use the user gender here, that's it. If this one was male, this code will grab all the users from the database, from the table, which have the user gender male, and you can specify how many limits do you want. Limit, then you can say 10, and don't forget to add the symbol here. And that's it. All the data will show. Obviously, you should add a BR here, so when the data shows, they should be below each other in a tidy way. And that's it. You added a BR. So now this will print a username, and then will print email, and it will move on. It will keep printing until limit 10 have reached, and it will look something like this. As you can see on the screen, it will look something, the results will look something like this, each one below each other, because we have added a BR here. And this while here means repeat the result, keep repeating until it reaches the limit 10. So this is PHP, guys. We learned many things. We learned the strings. We learned how to store data in the database, how to grab users who come to your website. You can store the details. Each one has a unique ID. All the tables you can create in your MySQL database when you sign up with a hosting company. You can call the table whatever you like. You can create the fields whatever you like. You can even create the table using PHP codes, but I like to sign in into PHP My Admin and create the table manually. It's only one time, and then everything will be added into the table using a PHP code. You learn the basics. Obviously now you have a general idea about PHP. You can go ahead and start discovering things on your own. You can discover new commands in PHP. The purpose of this course was to give you a general knowledge about PHP. We learned many things in PHP. From now on, when you look at a PHP code, you will not get shocked or surprised. You will know what's going on. You just Google it and you will find the code ready for you. You will just take it into your editing file and start playing with it, changing things. All the commands in PHP are available on the internet. There are some things which cannot be done in PHP. You will learn about these things as time goes by experience. For example, you cannot print a quotation mark. You can write here hello, quotation mark, hello, and then close the quotation mark, and then end it with this symbol as usual. Notice that there is a quotation mark in the middle. This is not possible. You will get an error. You have to add a slash in front of it like this. This disables it. And there are many things you will learn as time goes by. There are many commands in PHP like string replace. You can replace the letter in a string, change it to another letter, and all these things. I hope this course helped you in a way. You can practice couple of days more and everything will start going smoothly. I try to keep everything as simple as I can. Now, by the end of this tutorial, guys, you will start writing PHP codes. You will love it if you like this type of field. I don't like to ask someone to build a website for me. I like to know about programming myself, because I keep changing things all the time. I don't want to tell the guy, please change the things for me. It's very difficult. So it's good that you are learning PHP. Thank you. See you later.